Hello everyone, I'm Jacob Kaufman with Nerd on the Street, and today we are unboxing an Orico hard drive dock. Alright everyone, so this is a bit of an unusual video. This doesn't happen often on this channel, but it's been happening a little bit more recently, which I kind of like. I had a company called Orico email me recently and ask if I wanted to take a look at one of their newest products that they're offering. Now, if you recall a few months back, I uploaded a video, actually this was more than a few months ago, about a year ago. I uploaded a video of me unboxing my StarTech hard drive dock. And in fact, this might have been more than a year ago. This was a while ago that I got my StarTech hard drive dock. It's actually on my desk. So this is what I'm talking about here. This is a hard drive dock. It's got a flap there, and basically what I do is I take hard drives and I stick them in this thing, pop them in there, and this is a drive toaster. I put the drive in it, and then it turns on. I'm not going to turn it on while I'm holding it, but now my computer can read what's on this hard drive as if it was an external USB hard drive. So it takes internal hard drives and SSDs and allows me to just easily plug them into my computer. If you ever see these things sitting around on my desk, these are hard drive cases. This one's empty, but I've got a box full of hard drives sitting on my desk because when I'm making videos, I go through a lot of storage space and I like to keep as much of my source footage as possible. So yeah, I got that StarTech hard drive dock. It's been working great. It's a USB 3.0 dock. It's got a built-in fan. This product that Orico has sent me is basically the exact same thing as that. It does not have a fan built in, and I don't always use the fan anyway, but it is transparent. It is a clear hard drive dock, and I don't know if that actually affects the operation of the device at all, but it certainly looks cool. From the pictures, it looked cool online, so I said, sure, yeah, go ahead and send me one of those, and I'll take a look at it with my viewers. So like I said, the company's called Orico, and yeah, we're just going to unbox this here. Now this is just a shipping box on the outside, and I'm not going to show you the label on the top because it's sort of got my address on it. This looks like it's sort of almost an Amazon box based on the little curve down here, but it doesn't really look like an Amazon box. At any rate, we're going to go ahead and open this thing up here. Got my pocket knife, and this thing's been sitting on my desk for a day or two, so I'm excited to get into it. And I can definitely use this thing a lot and let you guys know how well it works because like I said, I use hard drive docks pretty often. In fact, sometimes it's been getting a little difficult having to switch between two different hard drives in my one dock, so I'll be able to basically use this side by side with my existing one and let you know how it performs. And of course, the fact that it's transparent and looks cool, that certainly helps in any case. So we are going to slice along the top as well, carefully here. Alright, and that's just about opened up. Here we go. Okay, so this is just what they sent me. On the outside of the shipping box, there is a little bit of bubble wrap. Now it actually felt like there was no bubble wrap, just holding the thing, but some of it's popped, so it's been doing its job. I've got a packing receipt for my order that I placed, and it's interesting because I just emailed them my address. I didn't really order anything, but guess they placed an order on my behalf. This is the only thing in the box, nothing else in there. Here is the actual box, and this is a very plain box. This is just a brown cardboard box. The picture on the front is just an outline. It has no color or anything. But as you can see, it says Orrico, 3.5-inch SATA USB 3.0 hard drive dock. It says max speed 5 gigabits per second. So that's cool. The back of this thing has some information, and it looks like Orico is a Chinese company based on the emails that I sent and based on their website. It looks like they're a Chinese company. Certainly an English product though, unlike like my Korean monitor had no English on it. This, they're selling to everyone. So the sides of the box are blank, bottom of the box is blank, top of the box is blank. So aside from that info on the back there, yeah, this is it. Pretty small box. There's nothing holding it closed, so we'll just unfold it here. Like so, and we'll open it up. Alright, pretty simple packaging. I like it. So there's a tab here that we can kind of pull up. We'll do that in a moment. First though, here's the dock itself. This thing is very light. Just picked it up for the first time. That is extremely light. Not necessarily a bad thing for performance, just an observation. So this was not in a bag. It was covered in some plastic, which just pulls off of it. Set that off to the side. Once again, on the bottom, just plastic you can pull right off. And here is the thing. All right, so it definitely transparent, as you can see. You can see my hand right behind it. You can see the logic board down from the top of it, and we'll make sure we're getting focused on this thing here. Through the bottom of it, you can see the bottom of the logic board there. And then, yeah, the sides, there's really not a whole lot going on in this thing. So, you know, the fact that it's transparent, definitely still cool, just there's not a whole lot going on in here. It's just a single board, really. Not like you're seeing a bunch of wires going everywhere like you would with some computers. But yeah, this is simpler than my StarTech dock. Here, I'm gonna grab the StarTech dock just for comparison. I'm gonna unplug that there. And so here's the StarTech dock, here's the Orico dock. I'll hold it the correct way forward. So as you can see, Orico dock is a little bit shorter. There is no flap on the top like the StarTech dock has. Not that you really need a flap. I mean, it might keep a little bit of dust out of the bottom of it, but there's not really a major purpose for that, especially because I normally have the last hard drive that I use sitting in here anyway, so the flap's kind of being wasted in the StarTech dock, whereas, you know, won't be an issue here. Yeah, the StarTech dock is much heavier, and it doesn't feel like it's just because of the fan. Like, the StarTech dock has weight throughout the entire thing, whereas the Orrico, once again, extremely light. Yeah, looking on the back, it looks like these are the exact same plugs on the back. We've got USB 3.0 Type B there, as well as power in the middle. And then this is a button. So the StarTech dock has a power thing that you pop in and out. So like it's on, and then this thing pops out and it's off. If you can see that little thing popping in and out there at different depths, the Orrico has a button in the back that I assume would be for power, because I don't know what else a button would be there for. But yeah, this does not pop in and out. This is just a very clicky button, very loud. I can definitely tell when I'm clicking it. So yeah, that's all that's on the back. Once again, it's all connected to that one main board, and then the bottom of this thing has a couple of rubber feet, so it won't slide around too much. Now, even though, yeah, it's got rubber feet, but it is pretty light, so, you know, if I set it just down on the desk here, it's pretty easy to push it. Now, when a hard drive's sitting in there, probably going to be a little bit heavier, once again. And there's usually a hard drive in it, in my use case. Now, my StarTech dock does have an ejector. It's got a button here that pushes up a little thing in the bottom of it that pushes the hard drive sort of up out of the plug. Orrico has no such mechanism, and I'll have to take a look at pricing. This thing is probably cheaper, or probably less expensive than the StarTech dock. So of course, if it's less expensive, it makes sense. You wouldn't get all the bells and whistles, but the point is to see if it works, and we'll see if it works in just a moment. But yeah, aside from that, very similar. It's basically just a very stripped down, it's the essentials. It's what you need to plug your hard drive in. Not a lot of bells and whistles in this model. They might have other models that are fancier as well. But this is the one they sent me, so that is very cool. It's got a very small Orico technology, leading technology logo on the front there. So yeah, we're going to bring the box back up here onto the desk. So inside the box, like I said, this is where we pulled the dock out of, and then we can take the rest of that up there. Set that cardboard off to the side. This comes with a power cable, and it is 2-prong power cable. It does have a wall wart, so, you know, not too thick, pretty long, all right? And then it does come with a USB 3.0 Type B to Type A connector as well. So this is the end that's going to plug into the hard drive dock, and then of course this end plugs into your computer. And the length of both of the cables that came with this seem very similar to the length of the cables that came with the StarTech dock as well. The Orrico, yeah, it's a couple feet here, not a super long USB cable, but I don't know how long it can be given that it runs at such high speeds. And you don't want to do this sort of thing through a USB hub. My existing hard drive dock only really works well if it's plugged directly into the computer that I'm using it with, so I will do that with the Orrico as well. All right, and here is the instruction manual that comes with it, and that is the last thing in the box. Nothing else is in there, so we'll just set that down on the ground there. But here, like I said, is a little instruction manual, and it looks like It just unfolds. Now this side is all Chinese. The other side is English. So this is the side I want. And then usage notes. Please avoid products been opened from the inside or repaired. All right. Please avoid products been opened. So there's some grammar issues in their little pamphlet here that they give you, but basically they say if your product has already been opened, it's not covered by warranty. Keep the product away from places of direct sunlight, high temperature, low temperature, humid temperature, or dusty environment. And use clean cotton cloth to gently swipe the chassis for maintenance. I assume that's just visual maintenance, because I don't think a little bit of dirt on your dock is going to keep the hard drive from functioning unless it's on the plug. What's in the box? Orrico, they called it main body, which would be this thing. Cable, user manual, power adapter. Compatible with both 3.5-inch hard drives. All 2 of them, according to, once again, the little pamphlet. Tool-free design saves you the troubles of mounting a hard drive and brings much convenience for data transfer. Brings much should be 2 words, but it's 1 in here. Alright, and it's got some information about 2 terabyte hard drives. It's got some information about master boot record versus GPT. Got some information about safely removing your hard drives. And nothing specific to this dock, just some general info about hard drives. We've got FCC and CE radiation regulation stuff on panel number 3 here, and then on 4, that's more Chinese, but it's got a QR code for their website. All right, and I will link this thing down in the description as well. I think it's very cool that they wanted me to take a look at this. Despite my poking fun at the foreign user manual, no, I think this is going to function well. Why don't we go ahead and see here for sure? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take our camera here. All right, and normally the other dock that I had sat right here. That is where I kept that thing. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up, move it out of here, and we are going to replace it with the Orico dock. Set that right there. I'm going to come on around to the back, and I'm just going to plug in the cables that I've already run back here for the other dock into this new one. Now we are going to take this hard drive here, and we are going to plug it into, and this is 2016, so this would be the hard drive that contains all the files from my old desktop computer. We are going to just set that down right into the dock there, and it's kind of neat since it's transparent. Kind of neat that you can see the hard drive going down and actually plugging into the board there at the bottom. And now it kind of looks like it's floating there. So yeah, we're going to zoom right back out here so we can get some of the PC in the frame, and we'll go ahead and attempt to access this hard drive. So here's a file browser. I am going to reach back around the back of the Orrico and try and find the power button. Here it is. Alright, one click of the power button and it appears the Orrico is turned on. I can hear my hard drive spinning up. Alright, and the light is blinking. Similar blue light to what was in my old dock. This one, of course, shines sort of in every direction because, you know, it's in the transparent casing. Doesn't have a specific place where the light is supposed to come out. Not seeing my hard drive in my devices list yet. I just unplugged it from the computer to see if it would do anything. Here, I'll plug it in again. Alright, so it sounds like when I unplugged the device from my computer, it did spin down the hard drive, and now it's spinning it back up again. Alright, still not getting anything here. As you can see, I've got my devices list here. This is my internal SSD. This is a portable hard drive I've got, and then this is my internal hard drive. Not seeing this thing come up. Just gonna click the power button one more time. Oh, and that appeared to shut the thing off. Alright. Well, that's interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in with the StarTech dock to show you guys what I expected to happen. And as you'll see here in a moment, see, it starts blinking, and now I've got i7 workstation in my device list here. It just popped up. Click on it. There's my files right there. So that's what I was expecting the new Orico dock to do. That is not what it actually did. So we're going to leave this plugged in. We're going to leave the StarTech dock right where it's at. And we are going to go ahead and plug in. So this is the USB cable. We'll just put that there and plug this other end into my computer. All right, and I actually have to unplug something here. We'll take out that portable hard drive I had plugged in. All right, and we'll plug in our power here. All right, trying to clean up this video a little bit. All right, now the USB cord that came with this Orrico, very similar in length to the USB cord that came with my StarTech dock. Now the power cable that came with the Orrico, actually shorter than the power cable that came with the StarTech dock. However, we do have the Orrico dock here. We've got it all set. So here's another one of my hard drives, and this is one of the hard drives that I archive things from my laptop to this hard drive when I am done using them. For instance, source footage when I'm done with the video goes onto this drive. All right, so we'll just pop it in there. We'll click the power button in the back. All right, powering up. I can hear the hard drive spinning up. All right, and that's the sound my hard drive always makes whenever I use it. Okay. It's not showing up though. So the hard drive is making all the right sounds, but it's not showing up here. Now at this point, this might be a driver issue because I am on Linux. However, I assumed that since these two devices were almost exactly the same functionally, I assumed that since this one works on Linux perfectly fine, this one would also work on Linux perfectly fine. Like, this is just a hard drive interface. I have no idea what kind of proprietary technology they would have to be using to make a hard drive dock not work on Linux. But so far, either it does not work on Linux, or I just got a defective model, or a defective, just defective product here that doesn't work at all. Unfortunately, I mean, I can't really test that because Linux is all I've got. And of course, anyone who watches any of my recent videos should know that I'm running Linux. So it's not like the company sent this to me thinking that I ran Windows. They should be well aware that I'm running Linux. But yeah, as of right now, the hard drive dock's not working. Okay everyone, so I did look online and there is a firmware update available. It was relatively easy to find on Orico's website, which does look kind of broken here. But as you can see, the website is orico.cc/drive.php. If you go there, you'll see some downloads under driver downloads. And you can either look through the list, and it's actually right here, the second thing in the list, or you can put your model number into the box. My model number is 6139U3. That is the model they sent me. So if we go ahead and search that, come down here and look at the only download available. It is, like I said, hard drive enclosure firmware update. And this would be the issue here. All of the drives that I was testing are over 2 terabytes capacity because I make a lot of videos. I need really big hard drives. One of the drives I tried to test with was 3 terabytes and the other one was 4 terabytes. Of course, with drives of that size, they need to be partitioned with GPT, the GUID partition table, rather than MBR, the master boot record that smaller drives can be partitioned with. So I did go ahead and download this. Now it comes in a zip file. You can see the file URL down in the bottom left. I do have that zip file here on my computer already and I have extracted it. Now unfortunately, it does come with some instructions. Unfortunately, it appears that the firmware flashing tool they provide only runs on Windows. So I did email them when I ran into this issue because they were asking why it was taking me so long to make the video, and I let them know I'm on Linux. I'm trying to figure out a way to flash this on Windows. They told me that the dock is supposed to work on Linux, but of course they don't have a firmware flashing tool for Linux or Mac OS, only Windows. This is an exe file. Now we do have the firmware itself here. It's a .bin file. And we'll open up the PDF just to see the instructions. You can see I've already read through it. These are the instructions here, and you can see they're partially in Chinese or another language and then partially in English. So you can see it instructs you to open up the exe file, put in the password, which they give you the password. It's interesting, they didn't just take the password out of the program. They've got a flashing program that requires a password, and then I guess they just gave you the password that they use when they flash these. Kind of weird there, but if you go down here, it shows you where to load the firmware file, and then it says to just flash it, and you'll see a big pass button there, or a pass label, and then reboot the device to take effect. So I would have preferred if they would update the firmware before they actually sent me the product, especially considering this was a review unit. But you know, if I was paying for this, I'd definitely want them to flash it before they send it to me as well. We're going to go ahead and try and get this thing running, even though we're on Linux here. The first thing we're going to do is try running it via Wine, and if this doesn't work, I'll cut this entire section out. Alright, and that did not work. Like I said, I'll just cut that entire part out since it didn't work. But basically, we opened up the firmware program, and Wine did not recognize that we had the dock plugged in, or the firmware tool did not recognize we had the dock plugged in. We gave it a shot. My only other option here really is to use VirtualBox. Now, I don't actually have access to a Windows computer right now. All the computers in this room are running Linux, and all the computers in this house are running either Linux or Mac OS. So if this doesn't work, then I'm just not going to be able to use this at all. But I do have a Windows virtual machine already created here. This I was using for some homework for school, and I am going to go ahead and open up the settings for it. We'll go into USB. Alright. I think I've got the thing hibernated. Yeah, that's why it wasn't letting me change any settings there. So we'll go ahead and open this up. I'm going to close out of the stupid little packet tracer thing I was working on. And I think we've got guest additions already on here. If we look at our taskbar, yes, we do. So we're going to shut this machine down. Alright, we'll go to settings and USB 3.0 interface. No devices available. Alright, so in order to enable this feature, I know that I had to add myself to the VBox users group. If we do groups Jacob, yeah, you can see I added myself already to VBox users. Now if we do VBox manage list USB host, alright, sudo VBox manage list USB host, manage, yeah. Alright, so even though I've added myself to that group, it looks like I have to actually log out and log back in for the permission to take effect. That kind of sucks. But I'll go ahead and pause on my recording software. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, and I have just logged out and logged back in, and as you can see, the command does work from my normal user now. Oh, well, I'll run it again so you can see. I get everything there. So now we can go ahead and exit out of that terminal again. We'll open up VirtualBox, go back into our settings, and USB 3.0. Add. Here we go. Orico external USB 3.0. That is what we were looking for. So we will add that to this. What this is doing, right now, that hard drive dock is physically plugged into my computer. This is going to take it away from Linux and give it to Windows, basically. It's going to make this device appear to be plugged in physically to the virtual machine, hopefully. So we'll go ahead and start the computer up now. And now that we're in here, device driver software was not successfully installed according to... Well, we've got an update for guest editions. We might as well install that. I don't know what this is about. We'll go ahead and update guest editions since that's kind of what we're using here is VirtualBox guest editions. So we'll update that. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and download the firmware update. This says the actual USB controller is the problem. And we have to reboot. Excellent. Great. This website actually looks decent on Windows. I don't think this ticker was working on Linux. And we are downloading the zip file again, then we'll restart. Alright, go ahead. And log it into Windows again here. Alright, so we're just going to open up that zip file. We are going to extract. Bam. Open up our tool. And here's the moment of truth. Do we see? Nope. Do not see the dock plugged in. We'll go ahead and check RD version. JMicron is the password. Load firmware file. Firmware. Yeah, start button is not there. We can safe remove nothing because nothing's detected. It says Orico external USB 3.0 plugged in. State captured. Let's open up our device manager here in Windows because I think when it said failed to install driver, we might have something wrong with our VirtualBox. Yeah, USB controller. Properties. Alright, did some quick Googling, and this Intel driver might make it work. So we'll just start installing random drivers. This is a virtual machine anyway, so might as well. Installing device driver software. Hopefully that's a good sign. Your device is ready to use. Okay. Awesome, we didn't even have to restart. I thought we were going to have to restart. Here we go, and now port 8 is recognized. Okay, now at this point, should I take my hard drive out or not? I'm not going to. I'm going to keep the hard drive in there. I'm just going to click start, pass. Okay. And now in our Windows guest here, we should see the hard drive that we've got plugged in. We flashed the firmware update. That was it. That was what was keeping it from working. Oh, you got to turn it off and back on for it to take effect. Right. The manual said that. So I've just turned it off. Turn it back on. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Come on. It's a slow hard drive to initialize. All right. Okay. So VirtualBox, I guess, lost the capture of the USB when I turned the device off there. But we'll go ahead and shut down our Windows guest. We don't need that anymore. Thank you, VirtualBox. That worked beautifully. And now, if we open up Dolphin again, we can go and look at Serval Archive 1, and that is the hard drive. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so this thing works now. I'm really happy I was able to get this working. That was a hassle. If you're wondering what these Hydra files are, I was hacking myself, not anyone else. But I've just made a little test folder there. Let's get some test data going on here. So here's an episode of Rolling Release. We've got the source 2.9 gigabyte video. Gonna cut it, paste. We'll see how quickly this goes here. All right, looks like we're getting about 100 megabytes per second, and this is of course dependent on the hard drive as well and your computer's speed. 110, we're up to 112. All right, so it started at 100 megabytes per second. It's going about 110 now. So between 100 and 110 megabytes per second, that is very good. That's just about what my other dock gives me, I think. I honestly don't pay attention to the speeds that much normally. Okay. We'll go ahead and cut it from here, paste it back. This episode's already been edited. That's why I wasn't worried about screwing with the files. We'll paste that, and wow, that was, whoa. All right, we're gonna have to do that again because I didn't even get a chance to open up the dialog for that one. Actually, let's go and see. All right, I've got a Linux ISO here that's 3.6 gigabytes. We'll go ahead and paste it over here. Once again, going about 90 megabytes per second. Slowed down a little bit there for a moment. Could just be the hard drive, like I said. All right, and once again, averaging about 90, 95. Okay, now I'm going to open this up and keep it pinned here. We're going to cut, paste, and that is going 1.4 gigabytes per second read. Wow, so this thing is USB 3.0. That was really fast. Very, very quick. I am very happy with the performance of this thing, and it also looks really nice. As you can see here, we've got the transparent background. You can kind of see through the thing a little bit. I really do like the look of this thing. I like how you can kind of see some of the electronics on the board there in the front. And it has a very small footprint on my desk too for a hard drive dock. My other docks have always been bigger than this one, but they didn't really need to be. So yeah, this is a very, very cool dock once you get it working. If you're on Linux, there's your instructions on how to update your firmware, because apparently they don't update them before they ship them out, because that update on the website said it was published back in June, I think, and they just sent this thing to me last month in August. If you're on Linux, you might have to use VirtualBox to update your driver. Be aware of that. Be ready for that, or have a friend with Windows be ready to help you with that. But aside from that, this thing is also very reasonably priced. It's pretty cheap for a hard drive dock, especially a USB 3.0 dock that moves as quickly as you just saw. I will leave a link to the product page in the description of this video if you do want to read a little bit more about this product and possibly purchase it yourself. But yeah, with that, let me know if you have any questions at all about this product. Thank you so much to Orico for sending this thing to me to check out. It was a little bumpy getting it working, but like I said, once it is working, that was very nice performance. And this thing looks awesome too. I'm definitely going to keep this thing on my desk for a while. So like I said, if you have any questions about this device, you can leave it down in the comments on whatever website you're watching this video on. But for now, I'm Jacob Calvin with Nerd on the Street, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.